Welcome to the Esther Effect. I'm excited that you chose to come join me on this 10-day journey through the Book of Esther. One lesson a day, one chapter at a time. We are on day 1, and we're going to dive into chapter 1 of the Book of Esther in the Holy Bible. But before we get there, let's give a little backstory on how we got here in the first place. Because some of us saints, we don't like to get context. We kind of read the word and then just take it for what it is and don't question nothing. Don't ask about how we got here. So I'm going to give a little backstory and find out exactly how we got to this point right here in the Book of Esther. Now I got my trusty laptop because I done took some notes. So if you see me looking down, it's because I got my notes right here. So let's talk about this good old backstory of the Book of Esther. When we talk about this book right here, historically, we're placing it in the Persian Empire in the 5th century BC. So if you know anything about the 5th century BC, let your girl know, because I'm not a historian, so I have no idea what took place in that era. I don't. But what I do know is this was during the reign of King Xerxes the First. Yes, Xerxes with an X, not a Z. Okay, for some of y'all unscholared folks. Let me quit playing. So, from a historical point of view, the Persian Empire was huge, like humongous, like really big, okay? And the Jewish community was living in exile, scattered throughout the Persian Empire. So, when I read that part, I'm like, so what? Like, why were the Jews in exile? Like, that was the question that rung in my head. I don't understand why were they in exile in the first place? Like, why? What happened? Well, this goes back to the Babylonian era, okay? Babylon had destroyed the Jewish community. Like, they conquered them. They destroyed the temple. They took a lot of the Jews into captivity into Babylon. And so they were living in exile in Babylon because they had been destroyed. Period. And so you fast forward a couple decades, and now the Persian Empire under King Cyrus, who was that dude, by the way, King Cyrus the Great, that's what they called him, comes into power. He was that dude because once they destroyed Babylon and took over, they allowed some of the Jewish people to go home. Like, they're like, you can go home if you want to. You don't got to stay here. But a lot of the Jews decided to stay and just kind of hang out in Persia, which kind of makes sense to me. I mean, what's the point going home at this point? Because we were in exile. The Jewish community, Jerusalem was destroyed, and I'm gonna just stay right here and hang out. So that's what happened. They stayed, they hung out in Persia, and now they lived here, right, in Persia. And so the crazy part about the Book of Esther, theologically, is this. It's very unique because it doesn't mention God directly in this book at all, which is very odd for a book in the Bible. I mean, the Bible is all about God, and his name just rings all throughout every book, every chapter. Like, God said, God did, God said, God did. But in this book, you don't hear any of that. It's about God actually doing things behind the scene. Okay, it's about divine providence behind the scene, what he's doing just for his people without God said. He didn't come to these people and say things directly. He was just like, I'm doing this thing, and bam. So that's the crazy part about this book. It's about how Esther, a Jewish girl, she becomes queen and ends up in a position to save her people. That's the whole point of this book. So while we are there, let's go ahead and jump into chapter 1 of the Book of Esther. It's not a long chapter, so I'm not going to be before you long. I'm so churchy, y'all. That's crazy. Chapter 1. Okay, let me go ahead and grab my notes, because that's what I'm finna do right here. So picture this, right? We are in 483 BC in the dazzling Persian Empire. Okay, Persian Empire was absolutely amazing at that time. It was the largest, most powerful empire on the planet, crazy. And King Xerxes, he sits on the throne. He's ruling from India to Ethiopia. Okay, huge empire, by the way. And this man doesn't just have wealth. He is wealth. Like, he's the epitome of wealth. So think about the person on earth right now who has like billions upon billions of dollars, right? You can come up with a name. I'm not going to throw his name out here, right? Billions upon billions of dollars. Like, he's not just wealthy, he is wealth. Like, the definition. If you had to look up the definition of wealth in the dictionary, his picture would be bam right there. Just think about that person, right? This was this king. Like, he is wealth. And so in order to be flashy and flex and show his power and his wealth, this man decides to have a party for 180 days. Now think about it. Back in school, especially those of us Gen X folks, like, we were counting down like 180 days of school, and it seemed like it was forever because it lasted a good 9 months simply because of the weekends and the holidays. 180 days consecutively is 6 months. Can you imagine having a party for 6 months? Every day for 6 months. Like, I'd be tired by day 2. I don't know about y'all, but I'd be tired, ready to go to bed. Day 2, I'm done, right? But he had to. Like, he was showing off, like, the glitters and the marble pillars and the gold couches. Like, gold couches. I'm not sitting on a gold couch because it's hard. And silver goblets. And because pride loves an audience, because this man was prideful, absolutely, he throws this party for 180 days. And for these days, he just like shows off his riches. He shows off his army. He shows off his empire. Like, look at me. Y'all know that song? I'm the one, yeah, yeah. I'm the one, yeah. I'm the one, yeah. Like, that song, I could see, like, if it was today, he'd be playing that song. I'm that dude. I'm the one. Like, he was very prideful. This king was very, very prideful. And so, he throws the party. And the drinks are unlimited. Ain't that crazy? Like, unlimited. But catch this, though. That's not even the half of it. Because at the end of the 180 days, he throws another feast just for the city of Shushan. Just for this one city where he invites everybody. He invites the rich, the poor, the nobles, the servants. Like, he invites everybody to this party. And this is where the drinks were unlimited. For 7 days. So, bro, you just had a party for 180 and now you're going to have another one for 7? Dude, you just got money to waste. Listen here. Meanwhile, November 1st, folks is trying to scramble around trying to get some food in their house. But this man, drinks unlimited. I mean, like, of noble proportions. So think about this for 2 seconds. Have you ever been to a wedding that had an open bar? Don't act like you ain't never been. Come on now. You done been to it. You ain't been saved your whole life. You done been to a wedding where there was an open bar. Open bar was from 7 to 9. Maybe 7 to 10. Maybe. Just maybe. And then that was it. Like, once the bar was shut down, that's done. No, this man had drinks unlimited for 7 days. Like, the good stuff, too. It wasn't it was top shelf, okay? Unlimited for 7 days. So you can imagine the king's drunk, the people drunk, like, everybody drunk, right? But on the other side of the palace, Queen Vashti, his queen, is having a party, a feast, that's what they call it, for the women. So she's like, you know what? I'm sick of my husband. He done had this party. This is my interpretation. I'm sick of this man. He done had this party for 180 days. Now he's having one for 7. I'm going to do my thing with my girl. So we're going to hang out over here while you over there, and life will be great. Because it's just going to be me and my girls, okay? So she has a feast for the women. Listen to this part. The king decides that he's going to show off now his wife. So he sends his eunuchs to go get Queen Vashti, or Vashti, however you want to pronounce her name. And here's the catch, though. He tells his eunuchs to tell her to wear her crown. Right? Now listen, my little interpretation, because my wheels got going. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. He made it a point to tell her to wear her crown. Huh. But she's beautiful even without the crown. Like, they know she the queen. She don't have to. So to me, he wants her to come with just her crown to show off her entire beauty, like all the goodies. Because, I mean, let's be real. You can't see all the goodies with the clothes on. You can see a little bit. You can see the curves and all that good stuff. But you can't see, right, all the goodies. So he wants to show off his wife. He wants to show off what he's got. He done already showed off the riches and the gold and the silver and the drinks and the money. But now I want you to see what I got. She mine. I got her. This is what it is. Queen Vashti says, nah, bro. She tells the eunuchs, I'm not coming. What? Listen, back then, you did not defy your husband. You did whatever the crap he told you to do and did it with a smile on your face. So what? She said no? So to know, you know, because he was drunk, I'm assuming he was drunk, like, beyond belief, right? To where he was, like, coming out of his neck with some crazy, you know, request, which was the craziest one of all. And don't act like you ain't never did nothing crazy while you were drunk. You ain't been saved your whole life. You done called the boo, right? With the drunk text or the drunk call and then regretted it the next day. Listen, this man was drunk because he done had unlimited drinks for 7 days. Call his wife to come show off herself, right? And now she say no. So he felt some kind of way about that. He goes to his advisors. What I'm supposed to do about this one right here, because she said no. His advisors were like, listen, bruh, you cannot do nothing about her. Because if she said no, them other women gonna say no. Like our wives, they gonna take, man, they gonna take her lead and go ahead and tell us no too. And then it's gonna cause a whole ruckus in the kingdom of Persia. We got a problem. So what does he do? King Xerxes, full of his ego, right? And now being told by all of these people, right? If the queen disobeys the king, then what will our wives do to us, right? Full of pride and insecurity, the king banishes Queen Vashti. What? Bruh, you that insecure? You have everything. Like everything. And just because she said no, you gonna banish the woman? Like, bruh, come on. But that's what he did. He took the advice of his guys who said, you know what? If you don't do something about her, our wives gonna act up too. And he banished her. Like, never to enter his presence again. And he could do that because he was the king. And so what happens to her royal position? It'll be given to somebody better than she is. But dude, you just said she was the most beautiful woman in the kingdom. So who better? Bruh. Listen. And with that right there, the curtain closes on chapter 1. Queen Vashti is banished. The king got to find a new wife. Like, simply because his pride was hurt. His ego was hurt because she said no. Listen. Woo! Beneath the glitter and the gossip, God is quietly working. So just know that later in this book of Esther, God is working on some things in the background, like big time. And even though, like, it seems unreasonable that the king decided to banish his wife, like, you not longer gonna be my wife, my queen, nothing. God had a plan. Because here's the thing about God. He knows what's going to happen before it happens. So let me work some things out in the background so that the things that are going to come will actually be turning out for the good of my people. So that's it for today. That was chapter 1 of the book of Esther. It's going to get deep from here on out. Listen, men out there, your pride and your ego, set that aside sometimes, because you could jack up your entire life over your pride and your ego. I promise. Women too. We can jack it all up simply by saying no because we're prideful. I mean, I honestly don't think that Queen Vashti was prideful. I just think she didn't want to embarrass herself. That was just me. Like, because I wouldn't. Like, if I'm the queen, listen, I'm going to just be flat out honest with y'all. If my husband got drunk, he's not a drinker, but if he did, and he, was feeling himself and was like, go get my wife so I could show her off to everybody, I'd tell him no. Simply because you're not finna embarrass me. Not gonna happen. So I could just imagine that the queen was like, y'all ain't finna embarrass me. Not gonna happen. I'm not doing it. And you want me to come in just my crown? Like I said, it doesn't say just my crown, but like, that's just my interpretation. Like, why else would she say no? Like, I don't know. But like, that's just me. I would say no. I'm not doing that. Because I promise you, you gonna feel some type of way when you're not drunk no more and everybody done seen my goodies that belong to you. So that's the end of chapter 1. Go and read it for yourself, okay? Pick a couple different versions of the Bible. Whatever fits you, whatever you can understand. If you want to do some background history, go ahead and check the background that I gave you. But we're going to jump into chapter 2 tomorrow. This is where it gets real good, okay? Chapter 2 tomorrow. I'm going to see y'all later. A new chapter hits every night at 9 p.m. I didn't say that in the beginning because I just wanted y'all to kind of be on your toes. But a new chapter will drop every night for the next 9 days at 9 p.m. Okay? I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow for chapter 2 of the Esther Effect. Have a fantastic night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Be blessed.